When you think of the Old West, what comes to mind? Dusty saloons, rugged cowboys, and maybe a damsel in distress? Well, think again. What if I told you the real powerhouses of the frontier weren't just men, but extraordinary women who built empires, defied every expectation, and left a legacy that reached far beyond the flickering lamps of a saloon? Prepare to discover the untold stories of the true architects of the American frontier. Forget everything you thought you knew about women in the Old West. They weren't just dance hall girls or homesteaders passively waiting for their men. We're about to shatter those myths and reveal the fierce entrepreneurs, the business titans, and the forgotten trailblazers who shaped the economic landscape and built lasting empires in a world designed to keep them down. Their stories of grit and genius will absolutely astound you. This story of the American West is so often told through the lens of the rugged cowboy, the gunslinger, the gold prospector. But this narrative leaves out a crucial piece of the puzzle. Beyond these romanticized figures, there was a world where women were pivotal economic forces. They weren't just supporting characters in a male-dominated story. They were the protagonists of their own incredible sagas of resilience and innovation. Let's talk about the pioneering matriarchs of industry. Take, for instance, the cattle queens. While men were away on long cattle drives or at war, women like Elizabeth Johnson Williams stepped up. She wasn't just managing a ranch, she was one of the first people to drive her own herd up the Chisholm Trail. Starting as a schoolteacher, she saved her money, invested in cattle, and built a massive ranching empire, registering her own cattle brand in a time when that was almost unheard of for a woman. Her strategy wasn't just to survive, it was to dominate. She had faced down skepticism, rustlers, and the harsh realities of the frontier, proving that business acumen had no gender. The scale of her operation wasn't just surprising, it was foundational to the economy of her Texas community. And it wasn't just in ranching. Think about mining, the very heart of the West's boom and bust cycle. We often picture grizzled men with pickaxes, but women like Silver Queen Augusta Tabor were the real high-stakes players. While her husband's name might be more famous, Augusta's initial investments and sharp business sense were what financed their first major silver mine strikes in Colorado. She was a shrewd investor and a meticulous manager. When others were squandering their newfound wealth, she was building a portfolio, investing in real estate and other ventures, creating a fortune that would shape the city of Denver. These women didn't just stumble into success, they strategized, took massive risks, and outsmarted their male counterparts in industries built to exclude them. But their entrepreneurial spirit wasn't confined to traditionally masculine fields. They went far beyond the general store, diversifying into ventures that shaped the very fabric of society. Let's look at Biddy Mason. Born into slavery, she walked thousands of miles to California, fought for her freedom in court, and then used her skills as a nurse and midwife to build a real estate empire in a rapidly growing Los Angeles. She wasn't just buying and selling land, she was a community builder. She used her immense wealth to found schools, daycares, and the city's first African Methodist Episcopal Church. Her ventures created opportunities for countless others and laid the groundwork for a more inclusive community. Then there were the women who wielded the power of the press. Caroline Romney, for example, founded the Mile High newspaper in a rough-and-tumble Colorado mining camp. She was the editor, the publisher, and the printer. In a lawless town, her newspaper became the voice of reason and a central hub for information, literally civilizing the frontier one headline at a time. These women saw needs in their communities and filled them with innovative businesses, becoming real estate moguls, industrial leaders, and media titans who shaped public opinion and created jobs. The legacies of these women are etched in gold and grit, yet they are so often overlooked. Their contributions weren't just footnotes, they were fundamental to the development of the American West. The wealth they generated funded infrastructure, Their businesses created stable towns out of chaotic camps, and their philanthropy built the cultural institutions that still stand today. The irony is staggering. While history books glorified cowboys and outlaws, the women who were building sustainable economies and communities were relegated to the shadows. Their stories were simply erased, deemed less important than a shootout at the OK Corral. So why is it so crucial to reclaim their place in history now? Because understanding their stories gives us a more complete, more accurate picture of the American experience. It shows us that ambition, innovation, and leadership are not and have never been exclusive to one gender. The narrative of the West isn't just about conquering the land, it's about building a society, and women were at the very heart of that construction. Their entrepreneurial spirit and courage in the face of incredible adversity are as relevant today as they were over a century ago. They are the role models we never knew we had. I encourage you to look deeper, to research the women from your own local history. Celebrate these unsung heroines. Their stories deserve to be told, to be shared, and to inspire a new generation of trailblazers. The empresses of the frontier are waiting to be rediscovered. Thanks for watching. If you were as inspired by these incredible women as I am, please hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden histories, and share this video to help us bring their legacies back into the light. See you next time.